We went from about 100,000 a year to about 400,000 a year. And then really what changed things forever, COVID was interesting because it was both a blessing and a curse for my industry, because cleanliness, disinfecting things, the awareness and the importance of it rose dramatically as a result of COVID. But also a lot of buildings were closed. And so, especially being in the Chicago market where they were much more strict with that, Indiana wasn't quite as much. We still got hit by some of that. And once everything opened back up, though, I noticed that a lot more calls were coming in than they used to. And so we really stayed about the same because we lost some that didn't come back after COVID for their own reasons. And then we got a bunch. So we stayed about the same, between 400,000 or 500,000 throughout that time. And then the next year, I decided I was going to intentionally start going for business again. And I used the method I used to get that first account, and we started cold calling. And what's interesting is I realized that it wasn't going to be sustainable if I was having to call hundreds of accounts a week. So I hired a contractor to do that. And within 2 months, we were getting walkthroughs every single week from that. And one of those walkthroughs ended up leading to a group account. So we won that single account. They liked the work we did, and they said, "Hey, we have 12 other buildings. Can you bid on those?" And of course we said yes. So while we're bidding on that, I get a request from another, and that was a medical provider in the area that had a bunch of buildings. While we're bidding on that, another large medical provider with about 10 buildings reached out to us and said, "Can you bid on ours?" And so within 6 weeks, we went from about a $400,000 or $500,000 company to $1 million company. And so it forced growth in us, very similar to how those initial contracts did. But now we had some systems in place. We had some team members in place. And our staff went from about 10 to 12 cleaners to, I want to say 35 during that time. And so there was some new processes I had to create to staff up that quickly, and then train people and then onboard them quickly. But what I've noticed is, like, when you have these quantum leaps percentage wise in your business, it forces a new kind of growth out of you that wasn't required in the last phase of your journey.